This is my short review and thoughts of the New Adventures of He-Man cartoon. I first heard about this cartoon in 2007, and I saw it for the first time in 2009 thanks to YouTube. And I've just recently watched several episodes from season 1 for this short review and video, and I must say this show is freaking awesome. When this show originally came out back in 1990, a lot of people didn't like it because it was, while similar in some scenes, it was very different from the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe cartoon. But like I said, I've watched several episodes here, and for the most part, I enjoy this show. This show, first off, just like the other two He-Man cartoons, is number one, the most important thing. It's entertaining. In my opinion, the character designs are awesome. The characters are awesome and funny. The plot and writing is engaging. The writing is good. Surprisingly, I didn't expect the writing to be that good because of how badly the fans blasted the show when it was new. The action sequences are pretty much just like the first series, but they're done a little better here, but they're pretty much just like the first series. The voice acting is great. There are a lot of great voice actors in this show, like Gary Chalk, who does Megatron in Beast Wars. Who does Optimus Prime in Beast Wars and the Unicron trilogy. He voices He-Man. There's Campbell Lane, who is the narrator for Gundam Wing, who does Skeletor. Scott McNeil does a lot of voice work in this show. He voices one of the main characters, Flipshot. And Doug Parker, another voice actor I've never heard of, voices Prince Adam. Don Brown voices Hydran, one of the other main characters. And Alvin Sanders voices Flog. I don't know who Alvin Sanders is, but his voice of Flog sounds familiar. This show, of course, like I said, many fans hated it because it was very different from the original He-Man. Despite the continuity errors and the different personalities and the different character designs, this show actually does serve as a sequel and continuation of the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. In this show, a lot of people criticize Adam's character as bland, but what they don't understand is that this is a continuation. So now Adam, he's fully accepted his role and identity as He-Man to the point where him and He-Man are almost one person. So people thought that was bland, but it really isn't bland. It's a continuation of the original He-Man. Skeletor is much different in this cartoon. In the original cartoon, he was a stereotypical comedic 80s villain. 80s villains who hates failure and can't cope with his failure and always blames it on his allies. In this show, he's a little bit more upbeat and takes his failures less seriously than the Skeletor than he did in the past. In this show, Skeletor is more like a combination of the Joker from Batman and Mumra from the Thundercats. Like the Joker, he's always cracking jokes, dancing, and laughing hysterically. Like Mumra, he starts off in one form, then in one episode he uses a giant crystal to transform into a different form, which looks like a transformer type character. So yeah, this show is also, like I said, similar to the Thundercats cartoon. That's the same animation, the same similar fight scenes, and a similar type of plot. In this show, the futuristic world of Primus is under attack by the evil mutants led by Flog. Master Siberian brings He-Man, summons He-Man from the past to the futuristic world of Primus, and there He-Man joins the Galactic Guardians and defends Primus from, once again, the evil mutants, now led by Flog and Skeletor, who of course followed He-Man to the future. There are a lot of Galactic Guardians, but the main three characters are He-Man himself, who you can see in the picture right here. There's Hydran to the left of him. In the green scuba gear like suit, and then to the right of him there's Flipshot in the blue suit with wings. There are other Galactic Guardians. Galactic Guardians like KO, Nocturner, Visor, Artilia, and so many more. But the main characters are He-Man, Flipshot, and Hydra. This is who the show mostly focuses on. These are the characters who get the most screen time. Not that the other characters don't have their own starring roles in certain episodes. The evil mutants, of course, is led by Flog, the guy in the red and black with the purple face. There's Slushhead, who's a gross mutant, who you can see in the green and blue. Then you see Skeletor in his new form in the middle. There are a lot of other mutants like Optic, a cybernetic cyborg mutant, Miss Karate, a mutant with deadly martial arts skills, and so many more. Another fun, and Krita, a woman Skeletor has a romantic interest in, and another one comically named Butthead. But the main characters who are mostly seen on screen are Krita, Flog, Slushhead, and Skeletor himself. Like I've said, when this show first, like I said, I've watched several episodes of season 1. I gotta finish watching the show to give a really full review of this show, but I've watched several episodes, and this show is awesome and addicting. It's just as entertaining as the last two. It sucks that this show hasn't been brought back in any form. It would be cool if the Hub were to air this show. It wasn't as bad. It was far from it. It wasn't as bad as the fans made it out to be, and it's far from it. Its show is freaking awesome. This was an awesome 90s action cartoon. Also, I forgot to mention the music in this show. The music in this show was awesome. It was done by Haim Saban and Shuki Levy, who of course did a lot of music for a lot of cartoons in the 90s. One of the most notable in particular was Dragon Ball Z. They did the music in the Ocean Dub version of Dragon Ball Z, and a lot of Ocean Dub actors from that show are in this show. And like I said, the only problem I have with this show is that, of course, it's in the future. So since it's in the future, no Man-at-Arms, no Stratos, no Man-E-Faces, and that's from the Masters of the Universe. Then there's no from the bad guys, there's no Beastman, no Trapjaw or Evil Lyn, and Teela guest starred in one episode of this show, but since this is a new He-Man, it's an entirely different cast. And another thing I didn't like about this show was the continuity problems. In the first episode of He-Man, when they go to Skeletor's lair in Snake Mountain, not only does Snake Mountain look different, but the characters there, Beastman, Trapjaw, and characters like that, Merman, are not there. You see a completely different unknown group of mutants. That's of course one of the continuity problems I see in this show. Skeletor's minions were different from before, and he also appeared to have more minions than he did in the original show. But like I said, this cartoon was awesome, and it would be cool if it was brought back. I should purchase the DVD sometime. Okay, I'll give a full review later. The Super Vader out.